Have you ever had a dream come true? Do sleep dreams come true? Are precognitive dreams real? In this video, we're going to talk about it. I am Karen, and I dream a lot, and I like to study and talk about dreams and dream interpretation. If you've had a precognitive dream, please share it in the comments below. I say that a little bit nervously because I get very skeptical of precognitive dreams, even though I've had them. So I want to put that out there right now so you don't turn away. So I want to talk about precognitive dreams and the concern I have about them. The biggest thing that I find around if dreams come true is that people will leave me comments or send me DMs and they have dreamed that someone has died and they are afraid that that person is going to die. Those kinds of dreams are understandably upsetting. In my experience, rarely come true, and therefore my initial response to did I dream that someone is going to die is no, you did not. That's not to say that that hasn't happened, and we'll talk about that, but that's where I am coming from when people ask me, do my dreams come true? Did this thing I just dreamed about that was terrible, is that going to come true? So let's take a step back and think about dreams are mostly picture metaphors from our subconscious telling us things we are not quite aware of in our conscious, everyday awake life, but that are important to us. They're things that we either feel or we are afraid of, or that we are that is going on around us that we aren't paying attention to. So that does leave room for precognitive dreams. But generally, our dreams are picture metaphors about things that are happening to us in our waking life and how we feel about them. It's our chance to process our feelings in our sleep. That's not to say that's the only thing we dream about. And dream scientists don't all agree about all the reasons that we dream. So there's different theories. All of this is theory and based on your experience and your intuition and what you find helpful. Okay. But I have found it helpful in my life when I have a scary dream or a sad, upsetting dream to not immediately say, oh my gosh, it's going to happen. That's just going to put me in fear, especially if it's something like someone dying I can't do anything about. Okay? So that's why I don't go there first. And I don't recommend that other people that I speak with go there first. And I have friends who come to me and share with me their dreams, and they often do feel, what if it was precognitive? And we talk about that and we explore how might this dream just be a metaphor for something you're already experiencing. And so in the case of if somebody dies in your dream, and I have a video on the channel, I have many videos on the channel about what it means when you dream that someone dies. Death in a dream represents something passing away, something leaving you in waking life. So it could be a quality within you. An aspect of yourself that is passing away. That's what death can generally mean in dream language. The person who passed away in your dream represents something to you, represents a quality within you. It may represent your relationship with them, and maybe something about your relationship with them is changing. So for example, parents sometimes dream that their children have passed away. That is because their children are growing up and changing. And so the old child that they knew is changing and they're becoming a different person. So you can see the symbolism of death and dying in a dream is often not about actually physically someone dying, but it's about the cycle of loss and grief that we experience as we go through our waking life. So that's the first place I like to tell people to go if they have had a scary dream or a dream that they feel is precognitive, is to really look and get serious and honest. Where in your life are you experiencing this thing that you just saw? So if it was a crash, for example, I'm going to tell you a precognitive dream that I had, but after that dream, I had a dream of a train crash. I'm not on trains anymore. I used to be on trains a lot. I'm not on trains anymore. The train crash and things and bombs crashing was around the time that I had an interview for a job and I bombed the interview and my dreams were crashing. And so that's what the dream symbolism was about. It wasn't telling me, oh, you're going to be on a train and it's going to crash, or oh, there's going to be bombs. Like, that's, dreams are not literal. And so we want to avoid going there first when we're interpreting our dreams. Don't go there first. I have had people tell me that, especially earlier in their life, they seem to have a lot of dreams that happened, that came true. Like, they would dream that a house caught fire, and then they'd see on the news that a house caught fire, or something like that. So I'm not saying that everybody, that if you have experienced it, that I'm not invalidating your experience, because again, like I said, I've had precognitive dreams as well. What I am saying is to not go there first, not think that that's what the dream means. If you are finding what you're hearing so far to be helpful, please go ahead and click the like button so that more people can find this video. Thank you. According to Psychology Today, about anywhere from a third to half of people have had a precognitive dream. And it's a very interesting article. I'll link it in the comments below. It kind of goes through what might be happening instead of them being precognitive. And I think some of it is valid, some of it feels a little bit dismissive. Because generally when people are thinking they had a precognitive dream, it is about something big and it's not something small, like I felt sad. Like, that's how they're describing a precognitive dream is, oh, I had a dream and I felt sad and angry, and then something happened in my real life and I felt sad and angry, so the dream must have predicted that. Like, I don't think anybody thinks of that when they think of precognitive dreams, but they're trying to rule out some things, and so they talk about those kinds of dreams. And again, if you, like I do, if you believe that dreams are you processing your emotions, generally most of the time, then if you dreamed that you were sad and then later on you do feel sad, like you were probably feeling sad before the dream too, like the dream again is helping you to process your emotions and bringing them to your awareness. Therefore, if you dream that you're sad and then something happens and you become sad a day or two later, you're already processing these things that are happening. A lot of times when people have dreams that they're afraid are telling them something bad is going to happen, those are nightmares, obviously. And I have videos on the channel about what to do if you have a nightmare. So those are perfect dreams to reimagine and play forward and see a different ending. So I won't go into that in this video. Go ahead and watch the other videos about that. But I just wanted to mention that because a lot of times if people have had a scary dream that they think is going to come true, it will be helpful for them to treat it like a nightmare and do the reimagining, the rescripting of it. That is what it can be so helpful in dealing with nightmares. Why do we sometimes have precognitive dreams? Because we do sometimes have them. Like, I've had them myself. I've had at least 3 that I can remember. And one was quite recently. Actually, it was about a year ago. And so you can't deny it when you do have one. So that's why I'm not saying that we don't have them, because I have had them. But what is it? What about that? Here's my theory. Take it or leave it. You might find comfort in it, though. And that's why I'm sharing it, because you might find comfort. I believe that most of the time, the precognition is bringing to your awareness something that you are already aware is happening around you. It's something that is in the environment where you are. And your subconscious has picked up on it, but your conscious has not. And it's kind of bubbling up within you, your awareness. So, for example, if you meet someone and you kind of think, do they like me? Do they not like me? I don't know. Somebody new at work. I don't know if they like me or not. It might take time for you to really know what they really think about you, but your subconscious might be picking something up. And so that can come into your dreams. So when you're in a new situation, or maybe you're new at a job and you're like, I don't know if it's going to work out or not. Is it going to be okay? Am I going to like it? Am I not going to like it? You're still in that phase where your conscious mind is unsure of what it thinks, but your subconscious is kind of like knowing what it thinks or not, or if it's going to work out or not, or whatever. And so those things kind of bubble up over time, right? I rarely go into a situation where I'm like, I know all the things, right? I know how I feel, I know what I think, I know what's going to happen. Do we really? So we don't know all the things. It takes time for stuff like that to bubble up. And when there's change happening around us, we don't get the full picture generally. And things kind of slowly get revealed to us about relationships, about situations we're in, about problems, about people, about all sorts of things. So that's how I feel that precognitive dreams mostly work, and that's how they worked in my experience. So for example, I used to work in a department that we generally had to kind of justify our existence in the organization. We knew that we had to meet certain metrics in order to stay a department. And through COVID, we were not meeting those metrics. It wasn't our fault, but it was the reality that we were not meeting those metrics. So, of course, we were aware of how precarious the department's situation was. We knew, and the whole department knew, how long are they going to let us be here if we don't pull things out, of this hole we're in? If we don't get ourselves out of this hole, are we going to make it out in time before someone looks at us and says, you know what, we don't want to put resources on this department anymore, we're going to close it down. So those discussions had been in the air, had been going on for a few months, but were getting more intense for a few months before I had this particular dream. So I dreamed that my boss had laid me off, just me. We had a conversation in my dream. He tells me that I'm being let go, and I made a comment about good luck with everybody else, kind of comment in my dream, and I was not very happy, of course, as one is not. I've been through layoffs before, so I knew what it was in the dream, and I was very naturally upset about it in the dream. And I woke up, and my very first thought was, oh my gosh, we're going to be laid off. We're going to be closed down. And then I thought, no, I don't know that yet. I did what I just told you to do. I looked at, what does this mean? This is about my fears of being laid off. This is about my fears around the department closing, because we'd already been talking about this. It was something that we were aware of. We were trying to make sure we could, avoid the hatchet this year and maybe make it another year. And I really, truly thought we would. I really, truly thought this is going to keep going. That was on a Monday morning that I woke up. On Wednesday, went into the office, and we were having a meeting that was maybe a little like, what's this meeting about? I don't know. And as soon as I walked into the meeting and saw an HR person who I'd never met in the meeting, in the team meeting, I knew what was going on. And sure enough, they were closing down our department. So there's no way that I can tell people I don't have precognitive dreams, because I dreamed I was getting laid off 2 days before I got laid off. Now, that was different in real life, because it wasn't just me, it was the whole department was being let go, laid off, all the words, reduction in force, all the things they say. But it was pretty clear from the dream to the real life event that they went together. I was like, okay, getting chills, right? We get chills when those things happen. Sure, it was in the air, but my waking mind was like, no, we got a few months. They wouldn't do it at this time, or, I had all these reasons in my waking logical mind why it wasn't going to happen right then, and yet it did happen right then. So that's why I say, do sleep dreams come true? Yes, but don't go there first. Look at some other reason why you might be having that dream. What are you afraid of? What are you feeling? Pay attention to dreammoods.com. Work with a dream interpreter. Don't go there first that, oh, this means something bad is going to happen. However, sometimes they do. And what do you do about it, right? There really wasn't much I could do about it. And therefore, when it did happen, the thing about the layoff was that I had already kind of been preparing myself to no longer be doing that same work. So I was already in a place of willingness and openness for new things in my day job. And so that's another reason why, as I thought about when the department closes, what would I do? Like, a part of me was already thinking ahead and open. And so as soon as it came up, of course I felt the anger, the upset, the scare, the worry, the anxiety. I was scared. But I also was like, this is the opportunity I've kind of been waiting for, that I didn't really want to admit to myself I was waiting for, right? And again, dreams are showing us things that we might not want to admit to ourselves. So it's all true. both things are true. Yeah, it was precognitive, and yes, it was showing me some things that I hadn't quite allowed into my awareness. And once I did, I was able to feel that I had a little more preparation and support for this thing that happened. So that's what I think about. Do sleep dreams come true? Sometimes they do. Sometimes we don't know until they may not be that quick. You know, this one was 2 days. I've had other dreams that I had the dream and then something happened 4 months later. And it wasn't till years later when I was like, oh, that dream went with the thing that happened. Like, so recording your dreams is a very good idea. Keeping a dream journal is really helpful if you're really interested in, am I having precognitive dreams? Keep a dream journal. I have a lot of videos on the channel about keeping dream journals. You can watch those. Videos on the channel about what to dream, what it means if you dream about people passing away. Also, if you have a nightmare, what you can do about it. So check out those videos. You can follow me over on Instagram at Caryndreams. Please click the subscribe button so that you can find more videos when they come out every other week, which is right now how it's coming out every other week. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.